Hello student, this is the first series of the PSSR. PSSR stands for Personal Safety and Social Responsibility. It is given in STCW 2010. What is this IMO? IMO stands for International Maritime Organization. It is the parent body of the shipping. IMO has four pillars. They are classified as SOLAS, MARPOL, STCW and MLC. SOLAS stands for Safety of Life at Sea. It is having at present 15 chapters, but in exit exam it is not updated. So in exit exam the last chapter it is updated for the chapter 14. So the option should be chosen as chapter 14. Second is MARPOL. MARPOL stands for the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ship. It is having 6 annexes. Annex 1 to 6. Next is STCW 2010. It is also Convention and Code. In Convention it is having 8 chapters. In a Convention it is having 8 chapters, and in Code it is divided in 2 parts. Section A is mandatory standards and section B is recommended guidelines. Now fourth pillar is MLC. MLC stands for Maritime Labour Convention. It is established by the ILO. It is like chapters. It is having titles. It is having 5 titles. MARPOL is having 6 annexes. Annex 1 deals with the pollution by oil. Annex 2 deals with noxious liquid substances. Annex 3 deals with pollution from harmful substances in packaged form. Annex 4 deals with pollution by sewage. Annex 5 deals with pollution by garbage. Annex 6 deals with air pollution from seas. Since our study is limited to only for the PSS or exit exam, we will concentrate only on Annex 1, Annex 4, Annex 5 and Annex 6. Annex 1, pollution by oil. So the the bilges generated in the engine room, it has to be pumped out. But you cannot pump it overboard like this. It has to be pumped, that is, it has to be pumped or discharged through oily water separator. So how can you pump the oil from the oily water separator? What is the criteria? Criteria is ship should be en route. En route means what are the route you have fixed. If it is going from Mumbai to China, so they are doing the passage flight. So the ship should be go in that route only. You cannot divert. Ship is en route. Oil content is less than 15 ppm. So what is meant by ppm? 50 ppm means parts per million. And the ship should be at a distance of at least 12 nautical miles from the nearest land. So whenever you are doing this oil discharge through oily water separator, you have to do this entry in the oil record book. So oil record book, it is divided into two parts. So part 1 deals with the cargo ballast operation, and part 2 deals with the engine room machinery operation. So here OWS entry will go in the part. MARPOL Annex 4, that is the sewage. Sewage means whatever the human waste, means toilets, you cannot pump directly overboard of the ship. It has to be treated through sewage treatment plant. So when the ship is in the port or in some area, near coastal area, you are taking that sewage, you are taking all the sewage and treated it to the sewage treatment plant and put it in the sewage holding tank. And after, when the ship is en route, at that time you can pump it off. So what is the criteria? Ship is en route. Ship speed minimum is 4 knots. And it should be 12 nautical mile away from the nearest land. So the only special area under Annex 6 for sewage is Baltic Sea. MARPOL Annex 5, it deals with the garbage. All ships of 400 gross tonnage and carrying 15 persons on board must have a garbage management plan. So what is that garbage? Garbage means your food waste, then animal carcasses, then cargo residues. But we are concentrating mainly on the exit exam. So I have not covered all the garbage types, only which deal with the exit exam. So food waste, which is comminuted. Comminuted means it is grinded. On the onboard ship there is a grinder in the wash basin. So what are the food waste like cabbage, onion, peels, you have to grind it. Then you can overboard it, means discharge in a overboard, but there is some criteria. So ships outside special area means global area. It is not having a restricted some restriction. So that is outside special area. So you can throw when the ship is equal to or more than 3 nautical miles. Whereas when it is under special area, the limit is 12 nautical miles. Food waste not communicated. Outside special area, if it is not communicated, means it is not landed, then 12 nautical miles. Inside special area, discharge viability. Animal carcasses. Animal carcasses means the ships which are carrying animals, buffalo, cow, something like that, and if the animal dies on board, so that animal carcasses has to be treated in such a way that when they are dumped in the sea, they will sink to the bottom. So what is the requirement? When it is outside special area, a ship should be en route and it should be 100 nautical mile away from the nearest land with maximum water depth. Whereas when it is under inside special area, discharge is prohibited. So what are the garbages? Garbages like that packing material, पुट्ठा बोलते हैं हम लोग कुछ इसको, that packing material you can burn in the incinerator. But when you are doing that incinerator, how much you are burnt it, that record has to be maintained in garbage report. There is one question like that, what are the things which you can burn in the incinerator? So the option was except plastic. So according to question you have to give the answer. But in fact on board ship there are some incinerators which can burn the plastic also, but it has to be in certain proportion, and it is to be that incinerator has to be type approved for the burning of that plastic. But in our exit exam they ask what are the things which you cannot burn in the incinerator is, that is the plastic. Annex 6, air pollution from ship. So on board, the fuel which is used on board, it should not have a flash point less than 60 degrees centigrade. Okay, what is meant by flash point? And ignition. Flash point is that when the fuel emits vapor. Which vapor? Flammable vapor. And when it gets some ignition source, what is required? The ignition source is required. then it can catch fire. Combustion or fire. Whereas ignition point is the temperature at which it is given flammable vapor and which ignites on its own. No ignition source is required. So such type of fire, you will find that on board, and that is called spontaneous ignition. Okay, now the flash point which is used on board for fuel oil, it should not be less than 60 degree, whereas for emergency generator the flash point should not be less than 43 degrees centigrade. Engine room fuel flash point is 60 degree and emergency generator flash point is 43 degree. Then fuel, there is one content, that is sulfur content. When the ship is outside ECA area, ECA means emission control area. When the ship is outside ECA area, the restriction is 0.5% sulfur is allowed. Whereas it is inside ECA area, the sulfur content allowed is 0.1% of sulfur. So in Annex 6, that is vast topic, but for the exit exam, we will deal with what are the questions they are asking. So for example, what is meant by SIM? SIM means Shipboard Energy Efficiency Management Plan. What is EEDI? EEDI means Energy Efficiency Design Index. It is for the new ship. When the ship is building, at that time only all the calculation is done. And what is EEOI? EEOI for Energy Efficiency Operational Indicator. It is for the owner and ship staff, how efficient your ship is. So you can calculate on the daily basis, on basis of the fuel consumption. What is STCW? It is the International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping for Seafarers. So the major amendment was in 2010 and it is called Manila Amendment. So STCW talks about rest hour. So in a day there is 10 hours rest hour. 10 hours in any 24 hours. Second requirement is that 77 hours in any 7-day period. This rest hour, 10 hours rest hours, it cannot be divided more than 3. It cannot be divided in. That means out of this there should be minimum 6 hours continuous rest, and the other 2 periods in such a way that the rest hour should not be less than 1 hour. Since we are talking about rest hours, so let's go to fatigue. Means when we are talking about rest hour, we should go for fatigue. So before that, we will try to cover communication, because in PSSR many questions are coming from the communication. So what is communication? Communication is simply the act of transferring information from one place, person or group to another. Every communication involves at least one sender, a message and a recipient. Verbal communication refers to the use of symbols in the form of spoken words to transmit messages. Non-verbal communication refers to the use of symbols other than the words to transmit messages. What is intrapersonal communication? It is also known as self-talk or thinking. So what is teamwork? Teamwork is a collaborative effort of a group to achieve a common goal or to complete a task in the most effective and efficient way. What is social responsibility? It is defined as the duty of business to do no harm to society. What is fatigue? Fatigue is the state of feeling very tired, very sleepy, or resulting from insufficient sleep, prolonged mental or physical work, or extended period of stress or anxiety. What is circadian rhythm? It is reproduced by body clock. Circadian rhythm is a 24 hours cycle which belongs to us.